Hello, and welcome to an afternoon of vintage treasure hunting at the Rose City Vintage Market in Portland, Oregon. If you watched my video from last week, I spent one Saturday morning in July at the PDX Estate Marketplace monthly warehouse sale. And now here is the afternoon of that same day, ready to peruse the vendor booths at this market event. I met up with a friend for lunch and then we headed to the vintage market. The July event was held indoors and outside, and by the time we arrived, the early morning crowds had dispersed. After my whirlwind of estate sale shopping earlier and refueled by some good food and water, I was ready to take on the vintage market. I usually have a list of items to be on the hunt for, but this time around I was just looking to look. First thing inside, I spotted this blue rug on the ground. Rugs were a theme for the morning, and I wondered if I'd just found another one. But alas, no, it was priced at $300 and had too much fringe. It takes me a full aisle to really get into a good rhythm, which is why at the end of the day I usually do another sweep down the first aisle. This tramp art piece was incredible, so cool to see up close. I also loved the red organizer, and at $20 that's not a bad price. I should have taken that into consideration. This Art Nouveau desktop inkwell was stunning. I loved it. I'm usually not drawn to needlepoint samplers, but this one caught my eye. I really liked it. I was surprised at the price of this little bird, but I loved it too. And this copper and brass tea set was beautiful. I looked up both designers later. Richard Peeler, who worked alongside his wife Marge, creating stoneware pieces, and Karl Hagenauer, who also worked with family. Their design aesthetics seem to speak to a lot of people and are priced accordingly. I loved both of these leaf-shaped lamps. They were not marked, but if I remember correctly, the vendor quoted $75 for each. This particular vendor had wonderful inventory and a really well-styled booth. Another really great vendor. I loved everything in this booth. The lamp on the left is great, but I loved the framed 2004 Rose Festival poster behind it. This holiday booth is always pretty busy. There was one glass tree I was interested in, but there was quite the crowd waiting to pay, so I stopped back by later and bought the tree. Outside, the wind was a nice relief from the heat, but we didn't last too long out there anyway. Okay, I think my old camera from middle school was this exact one, Vivitar, not Pentax as I mentioned in last week's video. I'm not sure I would want to spend $48 on it, but it would be cool to have again. This booth had a few interesting items. Check out that cat rug, but the vendor wasn't around. I wish I would have bought this enamel piece for $20. Back inside, this painting caught my eye immediately. I had an instant connection to it, but still pondered for a few minutes. It doesn't look to be vintage, but that doesn't matter to me. I just loved it. and I ended up getting the painting. I just couldn't leave it behind. It reminds me of a photo of me as a little girl wearing a similar orange hoppy coat that my grandmother had given to me. These wood veggie signs were great, but I ended up with just the onion one, which had been in the front and had initially caught my eye. I also picked up this hotel room tag from Japan. On the last aisle before backtracking to the first one, we spotted this table full of brass pieces. And with that, it was time to officially call it a day. I had so much fun vintage shopping on this Saturday. If you missed last week's video, click the link above to check it out. Thanks for spending the day treasure hunting with me.